Welcome to week 6, and this video is going to be working with Inventor on CAD 112 Engineering Graphics, and we are going to work on project 7. We got 2 drawings we want you to do, intersection of tangencies, and I've got them pulled up right here. Here is this one, so I want to go over, and this is in standard inch IPT when you start on it. So I'm just going to start right in the center of this thing, and it's a 2-inch diameter, so 2. And then I come over here and I'm going to put, and I recommend you guys do this too, and I can go ahead and get my dimension is 9/16 times 2 because it does everything in diameter. The reason I offset it, I'm making this area right here, but the reason I offset it is, for me it's a little easier to do it like this because I can make sure that I'm lined up. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you go in, and let's say for instance, if I went right to the side of this thing and I lined it up like that, and I'm expecting that to be lined up, it might not be. Okay, and also it'll mess with you when you try to do tangencies and things like that. So what I do is I always just come in here and put my dimensions in, and that is 1 3/4, and then 1 3/4. And then I'll go dimension from the center of this to the center of this would be 0. Okay, that way I know exactly where I'm at. And this one right here, I want to do the same thing. I want to make sure this is 0. So I know I am perfectly lined up with this part. Everything is lined up to the center of this one. Everything's symmetrical at this point. So now I can come in here and I can go back to my sketch. For some reason I jumped off of it. But anyways, I can come back here to line, and I'm just going to take and just snap to this, and then come over here, and then it'll actually snap to it just like that. You see how that tangent comes up? And we know this isn't a tangent, but we can come up here to our constraints, and then we can make that tangent just like that. And it didn't mess with because we're constrained to our dimensions, okay? So I'm going to come back in here and just pop it in there, come over here, make sure I'm hitting tangent on that, and then again hit my tangent button there and make sure that all this is tangenting up. And because my dimensions are holding it, it's not going to move. And I'll hit that, come over here and hit tangent, and I'll hit tangent with this and this. And again, I hit to hit my line here. I'm going to put it over here from there and make sure it's tangent again. And you'll see it pop up, and then just make sure everything's tangent. Okay, just like that, we've got all that in there. Okay, now I'm just going to trim it all out because I don't need all this stuff in here. And I made the bottom of it. Finish the sketch out. And when I look at this thing, this is 3/8 of an inch thick, so I just go ahead and put that in, extrude. 0.375 is 3/8. You can type in 3 divided by 8 too, it doesn't matter. New sketch on the top of this, we'll go ahead and put that in. And real simple and easy. You should be able to easily find the center of this thing. And if you can't, there's more ways you can do it, but this should right here, boom, puts us right on where we need to be, 2 inches. Finish sketch, extrude that up, and that's going to extrude up 1.125. So 1 divided by 8. We put that on there. Now just put your counter bore up here at the top. You got holes in it. I'll go ahead and get these holes put in real quick. It wouldn't take just a second. And line those up. And I'm just going to roughly, there you go, and kind of hang around here till I get that center point. And those are 9/16, and that is on the radius. So let's so make sure I click on that dimension. 0.563. That is, oh, here it is, 0.563. 9/16. That's on diameter. Okay, so 9/16 divided by 2. And I think we had it right to begin with, 9/16. Yep, we're good there. And then dimension it just to make sure I'm in the right location. I always like to dimension everything. 1.75, we're perfect. So let's go over here again and put this one, kind of hover around that side, it'll pop it on there. 9 divided by 16, beautiful, looks good. Let's go ahead and extrude that. Finish sketch, extrude, catch that one, this one, make sure you do a cut distance just all the way through. Gone, that's good. Now let's go here and put us a hole at the top with a counter bore in it, and 3/4 inch through, 1 1/8 inch diameter counter bore. It's going to 1/4 inch deep on that counter bore. So I do a new sketch, click the face of it. I want to put me a point right in the center of it, and then finish my sketch out. And then I want to do a hole command, and just choose that hole right there. I'm going to do a counter bore. Here's your different ones, of course. Spot face one, and do a counter bore. Let's see here. Size is going to be 3/4 inch all the way through, so we're going to be 3/4 inch, so it's going to be 0.75. Up here at the top, now we do need to give it some information on this. It's going to be a through all hole on that one. Good. We double click here, and that's going to be 3/4. No, it's going to be a 1 1/8. 1 divided by 8. The depth of that is going to be 1/4 of an inch, so we can. It's already there, so we're good. Everything looks great. So okay on that, and that one's done. So there's that one done. All right. And what you're looking at is intersections of tangencies. If you look at this thing now, this is coming in there. This is blending in with this. And you'll notice it doesn't go all the way up to the quadrant. It actually will come in towards tangent, and you won't have a line there, okay? We can actually go in there with a view and take a look at it. Visual styles, realistic. If you look at it realistically, this is what it would look like, okay? It would be just blended in smooth right through there. Do you all see that? And you'll notice whenever you go back into visual styles like the shade it with edges that we typically use, it's that will blend into right there. And it makes sense when you look at the top view. You see how it stops right there before it comes all the way in. But realistically, on your drawing, it's going to look like this. You're going to see these lines come in there and stop. They'll just come in there and stop to that point like that. So there's another one we're going to draw here as well. Let me go back here and grab it. And this one is going to be intersection of tangencies, and this one's actually going to stop short here. So let's go ahead and start drawing this one up. And we're going to start 2D sketch. Let's first get out of this. And we'll go back to our shade it with edges again. Okay, start 2D sketch, and I guess we can start it on the same XY plane. We'll just put it right beside of this one. No big deal. We'll draw this one over here. It's kind of the same style. It's a 2-inch diameter, and I'll see if I can just take it. And 2-inch diameter, and it looks like this one. I'm just going to take a line from here and just straight over. Come over 2 inches. We know that one's lined up. And see, this is, the width on this is 1.5. I need to get that one back. There you go, 1.5. So I'm just going to do an offset. Boom. Bring that up. 0.75. Come down here, 0.75, and we're going to put a circle in here, which is 0.5 diameter through hole. 0.5 diameter through hole, and 1 inch on over, so we know we got a line that's coming down through here somewhere in this vicinity here. It's going to be 1 inch off of this. So we hit dimension from there to there. It's 1 inch, and we can extend these lines over just like that. Trim out what we don't need, and we got all that cleaned up now. And it's got a fillet on the end of it. Radius is 0.5, so we'll go ahead and we'll stick that radius on here. We can do that in sketch mode or in feature mode, whichever one that you want to do. Fillet, and I can put 0.5. It's a pretty good size fillet. Fillet, 0.5. There we go. And then here we go again. So we got our fillet on there, and all I want to do at this point is I want to take all this right here and I want to mirror it to the other side. I think that would be a good idea. And I'll use this point right here as my mirror point. I'll get rid of this line. Just to save some time, I'll grab that, and we will do a mirror. Right here's your patterns mirror. Selected objects mirror line would be this guy right there. Apply, done. And then we'll get rid of that line right there. So we got everything we need now. All we have to do is just do a little trim on it. And then let's go ahead and extrude it out. I like to kind of turn it a little bit when I extrude. And boom, I pick all that. It's going to come up, what is the thickness on this one? 1/2 of an inch. So we got a 1/2 of an inch. New sketch right on the face of that. And it's real simple. Just it'll catch, kind of hover around that to get your point. Come out there and touch that. And this one just got a 1 inch through hole, so I don't even have to do a point hole on that one. I can just put that in there. Well, actually, we probably will. So I'm going to go back there and double click that and take that out. I'll just put a hole in there. Delete that. Finish sketch. Extrude up. And it's 1.5 from the bottom, so it'd be 1 overall from that top where we're on. And then I'm just going to new sketch it again, right on the face of it. Put us a point on there. Boom. Finish sketch. Go to our hole command and modify. And it's a 1 inch through hole. It's just a through hole, simple hole, and it's 1 inch. 1 inch all the way through. And something messed up. So if something messes up, go back to your feature and just 1 inch through hole. There we go. So just a simple hole going down through there. It's going to be 1 inch all the way through. And what I had to do was, it had a hole up here, then a seat. They've kind of changed it a little bit from what I was used to. So we had to hit none for counter bore or spot face or countersink, and just hit hole, hit that, and then you can just get the straight hole through and hit OK on that. So now you're looking at this compared to this. Okay? And you see how this is not coming all the way out to the quadrants, or it's not being tangent, it's going just intersecting right into it. When we turn these around, you can see these. And even if I go up here and do my view and go into visual styles and do realistic, you can still see those lines where that intersects in, where over here when it tangents in you cannot. And you'll just have the lines coming and stopping like right there and there, as opposed to this. And you can see them on the top view, you can see that as well. Now what I want you to do also is put these on an IDW on a drawing, and put them on separate files. And don't draw them like I did together. Put them on separate files, and then put them on those drawing sheets, and that's how I want those submitted. So and again, I want them top, front, and right side when you put them on your sheets, and I want just the basic dimensions. If you have any trouble, please let me know.